Okay, so let's go back to street level, see where we're at. And if we go SD, sometimes it's a little easier to see what we've got in there. Okay, so we've got our ramps, our landing, so we're doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and let's think about putting in another ramp up to this level. Now let's think this through though for a second. Hey, wait a minute, we've got another set of stairs up to where? Let's think about this. Here we're at level 1, here we're at level 2. So these steps need to go from landing 1, if we look at a south elevation, we need to go from landing 1 to landing 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab these and pull these out of the way, pull my datums out of the way. It's good to do that. So obviously I need to go from landing 1 to landing 2 with some stairs. That's going to be the first thing I go about doing. So go back to street level and let's do this. Let's say that we go to where? We go to the stair function. And the first thing we do is say we want to go from where? Base level, landing 1, top level, landing 2. So we know now exactly how many of these that we need. So let's go ahead and click on the create sketch and boundary. And we know we're going to need a what? We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know that because as soon as I click it, I've got 4. So that tells me that in this open area that I have here, I'm probably going to have to do what? Create a floor of some sort and adjust the sub-elements as well. Let's worry about that later. We're going to put our boundary on the other side. So again, we're going to click this line and we're going to start right here and we're going to go where? We're going to go up, right? And we're going to just take it all the way up here and we can go all the way to there. Right? Let's just try that and see how that works. Then we can do what? In this particular instance, I can say riser and I can say pick line and I can pick, and then for the last one, if I pick that, you see how it drew it all the way over there? I've got to drag that back to my boundary, right? Before I click finish, I want to do what? I want to put on a stair path in this instance. And I'll probably draw that stair path from maybe here. Doesn't really matter, just as long as it's straight. And I can finish that. Now, I can say finish. And now I've got another stair. Now, because I'm in shaded mode, I can see that. What am I missing here? I am missing a part of a floor. So what should I do? I can go in and say floor. Where's this floor going to be? Well, we know it's going to not be at the street. It's going to be at landing 1. Right? And now I can, with my boundary line, say that I want to draw a line from here to the bottom of my riser all the way across and back to here and here. Now we're going to see the problem that we encounter with this and we'll adjust to it later, but for right now, when I put this in and I go to my 3D view, you can see that this is level with this, and that's all we really need to worry about right now. Let's go back to the street level. Now we know that we're going to need what? We are going to need a ramp, and we're also going to recognize that we're going to have a gap in here that we're going to have to go back and fix later. Not going to worry about it right now. Let's put in this next portion of our what? Of our ramp and see what that looks like. So again, we're using a floor for this. Floor architectural, and I'm going to go to my boundary line and I'm going to start, right? Let's go ahead and start this. Let's see what happens if we start it from down here, right? Up to here, and I'm going to stop right here, come to here, and I'm going to come all the way back to here and to here. Now my floor is going to be from landing 1, right? That's where it's being drawn. And now I'm going to put in my slope arrow and I'm going to click in this corner here. Or let's try here, right? Or what if we tried here? Let's see what happens if we draw the slope arrow from there to this corner here. And we, again, make sure we adjust from landing 1 with a 0 height offset at tail to what? Landing 2. If we hit apply and we finish it, now we have a floor. We've kind of filled in that gap a little, right? And we've got a slope arrow carrying us all the way up to this next level. Now we're going to delete that railing. We don't have to worry about it. But now we're coming all the way up to this level, and we have to recognize that we have a lot of space in here that we have to fill. As a matter of fact, if we went to a top view in our 3D view, we can really see where we have some gaps that we're going to have to come back and adjust. But again, that's okay. This is the top of our step to landing 2. So we have some things going on in here, and we're going to go ahead and do what? What if we went back in here and decided that we were going to put a floor in, right? Let's put a floor in here and see what happens. So let's go to the floor, architectural, and I'll leave it 6 for right now. Let's go ahead and put our lines in. So we're going to draw from here, right, all the way down to here. We're going to come all the way up to here, here, and here. All right. So we can see we've got a little bit of a, not so much an issue, but when we edit that floor, edit that boundary, you see that's deceiving. That comes all the way to the top, supposedly, right? But if we look at it in a 3D view, that's way too high, right? No, I didn't move this from the street up to what? To landing 2. Once I move it to landing 2, now I've got a floor, and I can move around and kind of move in my 3D view and kind of see what I have going on back there. So I've got that slope happening, but I've also got some things that I might have to do. I might have to adjust some sub elements. Could we possibly do that? That's why this 3D view is so very helpful, people. Right? So how would we go about doing that? Let's stop the video and just talk about it for a moment. So what we discussed is that if we go to a hidden line view and we come in here to this floor and we modify the sub elements, we could click on this and we could take it down to what? 2'4". If I change my to -2 space 4, right? And then I can just come out of that, SD, see where I'm at, come into this point where I've got that little problem there, and I can go what? I can go to wireframe, WF on the keyboard, or even, could I do hidden line? Yeah, hidden line's going to be a little better in this instance. I can click on my floor here because I'm at my landing, and I'm going to say, let's bring that down, modify the sub element, and you know, I could basically see what that dimension is. I could have, well, let's get out of that first. Can we measure that? That's hard to measure. See, we don't get the measure option in the 3D view. So I have to kind of eyeball it here, and that's okay for what we're doing, people. I'm going to simply grab that and pull it down. Go a little under, scroll in while I'm pulling, scroll in a little, and just kind of eyeball it. It's really okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're mating up a little better there, okay? And if I go to SD on my keyboard, I can see I've got my ramp starting here. One last thing, not last thing, but one of the things I also want to do at the street level, I just want to go in here and put a floor, right? We didn't put one there before. I just need a rectangle from the street level from here to approximately here. Finish that. I should be okay with that in this view, right? So that's going to be okay. So I start my ramp here. Now, naturally, what I would have, people, for this particular portion of it, I would likely have a slab or another floor out here at the base of all of this as well, from that intersection there to right there. All right. And now that looks a lot more, you know, constructive for right now. In one of the last videos that we're due, we're going to go ahead and put on some railings. We're going to put a floor up here. We can actually go ahead and put that there now. If we went to landing 2, right, what we could see is that we could put a floor in here. And right now, I'm just going to start this floor here, all right, and I'm going to take it all the way up to this area here, and then see how my boundary changes there. I could either adjust this ramp or adjust this. If I split this line right here and carry this back to here and carry this to here, it's very easy for me to come in and put in a line here, scroll in, click there, come up here and click there and hit finish, right? And now you can kind of see I'm going to have to make some adjustments in here. Like I'd probably pull that down, or maybe it's treating it like it's another step essentially. But that's okay because we're going up to that level 2 there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and we're going up that last step. Now, the only problem there would be is we want to make sure that instead of 6 in this instance, this one was what? 7. Remember, we created that before, and now that gap goes away. So in the last video that we do, we'll go ahead and put on some of the railings, and we'll adjust a couple of our open spots that we have in here. Okay? I have spoken.